Alright, here comes another one. This one's going to be a little bit longer. I kind of did a longer session this go around, so as you can see, we created a lot more blueprints this go around. Uh, got a better understanding of what blueprints are. It seems to me blueprints are almost like variables, or what's a better word for it? So instead of trying to create different things on every level of your game or whatever you're creating, this is a way to create a stock version of it that you can use in every level. So if you know you can, like, so for example, this is like a trigger that if someone falls off the map, it resets the game. Well, if you know all your levels are going to be pretty much the same and you can just adjust this, then instead of creating a trigger on every level for all these different areas, you can create one and just reuse it over and over again. So it makes your code a little cleaner. It probably makes your game a little more efficient when you go to create it. So there's a couple things that we did this go around that I kind of want to go over. Um, the game mode, and so the intent for all of this is been to it's been to kind of talk through like the blueprints, what those are, and then how to get your specific pawn to come in where the player starts versus the Unreal Engine default one. Now I'm going to slide over here and show you a little something. So when I click play and possess, you see how the ball drops? So what they don't tell you that you have to do is when you go through this, and I'm not trying to teach the class again, but um, bottom line up front is you don't see the ball now, right? You don't see that pawn. You have to delete it, because if you don't, you end up with that pawn plus the other one falling out on top of it. What the video and the instructions don't tell you, they do tell you, but they don't explicitly tell you you need to, is that once you tie in your game mode blueprint, that you have to change it. So I'm using my BP game mode, and if you look at if I was to pull in my player made pawn here, and you click on it, you look at the details, what it has you do is you change it. So where it comes in, let's see, you go into your details here, and they had it coming in as auto possess player disabled. So they have you change this to 0. Alright, so you change it to 0, but it doesn't really matter, because if you leave it this way, I think this will do it. Let's see if this will do it. Yeah, so you possess it, but it doesn't spawn into it, um, because it's there in the scene already. So what I found, the only way to really fix this is you just delete it. If you're going through the course, you'll notice that he deletes it over here on one of his scenes already. So now whenever I click on it, like, you still have your player pawn, you still have to have it, but it's not in the scene. So you click play, and it drops in like it's supposed to. This is the player pawn that you created, and it's aligned the way that you had it created to start with. So point being is that was kind of important. I spent a long time trying to figure out why I had 2, and then why it would possess the one pawn and not drop down from the sky. It's the reason I had my starter thing from the sky, to see it drop in. So took a while. So this BP game mode, what it does, it circumvents the Unreal default deal. So it's basically saying, hey, instead of using the invisible pawn that you come in with on Unreal, I want you to use the pawn that I created, and I want you to take that pawn and I want you to put it at the player start. So you just modified the in Unreal base game mode basically into your own. And from what it looks like, you have to create one of these for each of your projects. It's probably going to be one of those steps that you do every time. Alright, and then the second thing that we did was creating a trigger for if it fell off the map. So what you'll see is this. So whenever it falls off the map, it falls through here, and it resets the game. Uh, I'll show you how that works. Alright, so there you go. That's what it did. So the other pieces that I want to show myself here once I look back here is the actual blueprints. Um, what this has done, when you look at here, I don't have any comments here yet. This is what's allowing the ball to move, how to control it. So another way of doing it now. This went into the actual project settings to be able to change some stuff here, and then taking these values and multiplying them because they're using radians, and it has an acceleration strength for going forward and back and left and right. And then in this one we created the overlap trigger for whenever the ball overlaps the trigger box and it gets the pawn. So it's looking for, okay, what is it that's going to overlap? Well, you're telling it. It's going to get the player pawn. It's going to compare these two. If it's true, then it's going to go on into a branch basically saying if it's true, do this. If it's false, do that. We're only working with true. So if it's true, it gets the name of the level that you're currently on, which this is in, and then opens the level or resets it. So overall, not too bad. Pretty good deal. It took me several hours to work my way through this just as I was building it. And to be honest, like it was really cool trying to get a better understanding of blueprints. So now, like, it's great. I can create blueprints and I can use them in multiple levels, and it's going to save me time and it's going to be more efficient for the code I create. The other cool thing is just getting another opportunity to create this stuff, and learning about how to extrude and edit and make ramps. So I got to play around with this for a little bit. It was really cool. I let my two sons run through this. This is where they fell off at most of the time. But yeah, just playing around, man. I'm getting a lot faster with the movements and being able to create this stuff. So yeah, it's kind of starting to come together. So I'm looking forward to the next sessions, but going to take a break for now. So, all right, bye.